Hi everybody, I hope you're all doing well. Today is the 2nd of July and it's a total solar eclipse today. So I'm actually going to relax here and just dive straight into it, and we're going to find out what Spirit has to share with all of us today, okay? And for the month of July. All right, gonna relax and let's see where Spirit takes us. So I feel like a pole, like a telephone pole, for instance. I feel as though I'm standing in this way, and then there's ripples of water that are going out from me. I'm sending ripples of water out. And I see, though, the ripples of water at my feet. It's all dark everywhere. And it's quite disorienting and exhausting. This pillar, this pole, this is more dynamic than it appears because I'm also out in the universe and I see the universe is sort of revolving around me. And this is even more complex than that, as there's sort of funnels of energy all over, and I can see the stars getting sort of swept up in these different funnels of energy, and I'm just in the center of it all with these sort of waves of energy coming out in every direction from my feet. Okay? So my spirit guides are asking me a question. So if I am a pillar, and these waves of energy are coming out from my feet, then where's the ground of the universe standing? Where is the center of the universe located? Where does one land stop and one land begin? Where is the beginning and the end of something? Where is the ground space? Where's the land? I'm a pillar. So obviously I'm not an infinite pillar. Otherwise I'd be going forever and up and down forever. But I stop somewhere. And wherever it is I've stopped is what I define as the center of this universe, with all these funnels of energy that are kind of intermixed with the fabric of the universe itself. So lots of dark and then white stars shining in these funnels. And I can see it all around me. And then these waves of energy that come from this point. And I say, well, let's say I'm standing on a nucleus. And we could define this nucleus as what I stand upon. And then from my feet, which is upon this quote-unquote nucleus, and then is these energies that go in every direction. So this pillar is upon the nucleus at the center of the universe. This is quite important. This could be a very complicated message. So as I'm looking around the universe, I see these funnels are more than just sort of tornado shapes all over. They're also sort of like gears turning in different directions. This message has something to do with the universe, but not just the universe. The fabric of the universe, the actual building blocks of creation itself. But it's more than that. It's almost like graduating from, let's say, grade 6, and now suddenly we're in grade 12. And somehow we took a really big step up, an unbelievable step up, and we're accessing complex information that it wouldn't have translated. We're accessing it, and since we are accessing it, we are at a level where we are able to start working on translating it. And it feels like this complex information, which is translatable in time, or however deep we want to go into it, is there at our feet or at our fingertips. It's accessible. And this message is important because somehow the energy right now is giving our collective access to extraordinary new perspectives, new analytical data, new logic, new mysticisms, new libraries. We couldn't have read those books in grade 6, but now suddenly we're able to try to make out and understand these books. Something of the energy right now is like, it's an upgrade on this level. That's the only way I could define it. And from this, these studies are advancements, right? So any type of upgrade of this kind is giving us access to more extraordinary wisdom that we can actually translate, is advancement, you know? And it's interesting because the word advancement itself is just, what's an advanced civilization? So is a first world country more advanced than a third world country? Are we more advanced in technology? Or are we more advanced in love? Are we more advanced in working together? Are we more advanced? So what the definition of the word advanced, is got many different viewpoints. Some people see an advanced civilization as having access to all the comforts of home, having access to a hospital with anything you could possibly want in it. But it's kind of interesting because you could see advancement as somebody who is entirely in oneness with nature, who knows the plant medicines. So the hospital is all around them, So they're advanced in their connection with spirit. They're advanced in their relationship with the community or the tribe. So the question is, what is more advanced exactly? But it seems that we have access to more expansion in whatever genre your heart feels joyful about, all right, that wants to dance in that genre. Okay, so let's see what happens next. My spirit guides are kind of making a joke because they're saying, so you picked up on all of this by looking at a pillar in an extraordinary universe full of funnels. And it's like, well, none of it really makes sense, but the fact that I'm accessing it and trying to make sense of it, it tells me that that's part of the message, that we are accessing things that don't exactly make sense, but that is a message in its own right, that we are accessing it and we are trying to make sense of it. And it's extraordinary stuff. It's universe stuff. It's cool. Okay, let's see. Okay, this is even more complicated. I'm going to describe here. So the pillar sitting on the nucleus is now duplicated. So whatever is above, then 2 is below. So now this pillar that goes up now is also going downwards. But what would be defined as physicality above is almost like a blueprint below. So it kind of looks like a ghostly apparition that is developing beneath what is above. All right, so it's a duplicate, but it's like a ghostly apparition. And I go to touch this material, and my hand just goes through it, kind of like going through smoke. And it just isn't anything to hold on to here. But when I touch what is above, there's structure to it. But this is even more complicated because what is the value of the structure if we don't understand it? I see the pillar is no longer dark, it's golden in color. And I see what develops here is an extraordinary universal ballroom. And the walls and the ceiling are a dome made up of stars, but it's all golden, interconnected, it's energy, interconnected energy. And there's the ballroom floor here is at the nucleus. And it's literally a golden floor. It's extraordinary. And what is the purpose of this place? How do the dancers enter into this extraordinary ballroom? The doors seem to be shut. And are we living then in the matrix of this physical development, or are we living in the matrix of the smoky dreams that create this physical development? Where do we exist in the balance of physicality or dreams? Where do we exist? They say an easy way to answer that question is, have we developed those dreams yet? What are your dreams exactly? And have you brought those smoky dreams? It's just, it's the outline of something, okay? And sometimes we don't always know exactly what it is. It's sort of like, what's my purpose, Abby? Well, I can go in and I can give you an effect of your soul and what I'm discovering here about you. But in the end, you have to take that information and do your thing with it. So I can't answer that question better than you could answer it for yourself. And life then creates the answers for you. But you have to identify something as a starting point. And from that something, the nucleus, the starting point, and then we graft and develop and design and then bring it into materialization here. And so they're asking, are you in the smoky dreams, or are you materializing that into this world? And where are you at? Because the other part of this message is we could say, well, where is the human race at? But aren't you a part of the human race? So if it's everybody else's responsibility but your responsibility, and everybody else is saying, well, it's everybody else's responsibility, then who is ever going to take responsibility? Who is ever going to take responsibility? So we have to take responsibility for ourselves. And we have to identify something, even if we can't grasp that thing completely. We're still figuring it out. We put as best as we know into action, and then we let that action then materialize more understanding about it. And then that understanding grows and grows and grows, and then we become self-realized. And then we fine-tune those self-realizations. And then we discover new things that we didn't even realize that we were interested in. And then we have new self-realizations. But there's something about the activity of it, participation in it. But they show me now that, remember, everything is at the center of the universe, is at the nucleus. So at the nucleus point, there is materialization, and then there is the smoky dreams, okay? At the nucleus point is everything. We have access to both at the nucleus point. And I say, if we have access to both at the nucleus point, how come it doesn't feel like I could snap my fingers and bam, I'm in that awesome golden floor ballroom of the universe? How do I get there instantaneously? How do I do that? They show me that we flip the smoky dreams around. So then they're kind of in the lines. They create the lines. They're part of the structure of the physical. Then we start with that. That's what I'm looking at here. But I see time passes and the structure starts to degrade and rot and it falls apart. And the smoky dreams are still there. The smoky dreams never fell apart, but the physical structure did. But the dreams never did. The dreams are still there. And the dreams now are above, so too is below, but I see nothing below this. And they say that we want to start with a new blueprint. So we're going to waft out the smokiness and we're going to start with a new blueprint. So that blueprint then can have a shot. And we can give this blueprint a try and see how this blueprint works for us. And I know this may be a complex message, but there's a blueprint here of an extraordinary kind that could have been immaculate, so to speak. but nobody got on board. So when we brought the smoky dreams into this blueprint into it all, it didn't work out for us, for our collective. So it just broke apart, and we got to start with a new blueprint, which is great because we get to start working with new ideas, new ways of trying new things. So on a bigger picture level, you could say that the collective had a blueprint, and we were working through that blueprint, and now the blueprint, some parts of it are holding and other parts we're letting go. So there's life and there's death, right, to the blueprint. And now the blueprint, it's almost like it's ready to die in its own right. It's just ready to be kind of, let's just kill this idea and we'll start with a new one. That's kind of what it's like, but nobody killed it. It just kind of fell apart on its own. But a new blueprint is actually developing behind the scenes. So you could see it on a collective level that perhaps they're saying something about what is taking place right beneath our noses is the development and implementation of a totally new blueprint. Or we could see this as something we could work with as a metaphor for our own life, on an individual level. So let's see. You see a man now walking towards the nucleus, and there's ground here, flat ground, and it looks like the universe that he's walking on. This looks like glass, and it also looks just like a black stone, but I can see through it. And he's walking towards this nucleus point, which is more of a pool of water. And he shows me that he walks to the nucleus point, then he walks to the nucleus point, and he's still walking the nucleus point, and he's still walking to the nucleus point. So he's doing a repetitious action over and over and over and over and over again. Is he ever going to reach the nucleus? Is he ever going to get there? Or has he always been trying to get there forever? So in what realm of time or in space are we in? Are we in the echo of where we're trying to be, and we'll never actually reach it? Or are we already there and we are working with the new blueprint as it is? Have you decided? Do you know what the answer is to that question? Okay, let's see what the next thing is here. I really want him to stop echoing, and I just want to pick him up and then just have him stand in the pool of water or something. And he says you can't force that event to take place. It has to choose if it wants to exist in this way. You can't force it. He's showing me that from one angle, this could be one world. And if you were to turn this spherical thing, you're going to see the fractures of many, 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 many infinite numbers of worlds, all connected to the exact same nucleus. All connected to that nucleus. And it's just like you could take a thread and put how many threads into an infinite sphere, and there's that many worlds, And how many worlds is that exactly? It's infinite. He shows me how we're all connected to this point, and we can radiate information back and forth from each other. And you could almost see it like back in the day, like in the 80s, it was cool, and they probably have it somehow today somewhere, but it used to be like a toy, and it could light up, and there was like pink lightning bolts, and you could put your hands on it, and the lightning bolts would like follow your hand, or this is kind of like an old memory, but it's kind of like this, because all those lightning bolts are sort of connected to this like centerpiece. They're all their own unique lightning bolt, but they're all connected to the same point. So these threads are all unique threads. all unique lightning bolts, all right, infinite numbers of them, but they're all pulling from the same place. And so we can pull across dimensions anytime, and we could bring in blueprints from other places anytime, because we're all interconnected. We're all interconnected with each other. And I say, but let's simplify this down, because when I was watching you kind of echoing your way towards this pond and you never really reach it, what does this have to do with planet Earth? What does this have to do with our idea of this thread connected to the nucleus? What does this have to do with us? He asked me, what does our mean? Who do you own that thread? Do you own it? Is that yours? Is that your human races? Is that your Earth? Is that your experience? What does our mean? And who constitutes our? Whatever your idea is of our, because there's so many levels to this. There's just so many levels to this. And that's the difference between 6th grade and 12th grade learning. That's the difference between what we're working with and what we are becoming, an advancement, so that we could actually define advancement as what we perceive it to be, advancement. So exploring the layers and the levels and the extraordinariness of it all is the difference between 6th grade, 12th grade, and advancement, and our experience, and how our experience is expanding. But our experience expanding is our choice, is also based on our choices, whatever our is defined by, which is many. I just want to go into the pond already. It's like, can we just go in there? Because I'm really curious here. It looks like a black pool of water, and I just want to go in there. I just want to know what's in there. That's all I know. Okay. When I go in there, I feel really sad. There seems to be a spirit associated with this. It's a female energy. And it's her dreams. It's a female energy that I'm picking up on, and it's her dreams. This pool of water, this nucleus, is all related to her dreams. And I feel sad about this. And what was a pristine pool of water has turned black, and they're all tears. But I say these are her dreams. These are her smoky dreams that would materialize. These are all of her dreams. These are good dreams. These are bad dreams. Why is there so much sadness here? Why are you choosing sad dreams? And she says, why are you choosing sad dreams? So when I say, why are you choosing sad dreams, as though this nucleus is the echoing point where everything comes from, she echoes back to me, why are you choosing sad dreams? So we have to really look at what is it that we are choosing individually. Are you choosing on an individual level sad dreams? Or extraordinary dreams? Are you building on the anger and the upset of what has been dished out to you in your life, and you're just going to continue to hold on to it and build upon it? Or are you done with it? Are you ready to have different dreams? Because this pool can last as long as we want it to. It's our choice. Our choice. And I talked to her about... You ever feel like the human race is waiting for one person, just one person to change the world? Just one. So the coming of Jesus, and Jesus alone is the only one that can do it. You know, Jesus alone is. And then you watch movies too, where you just have one person that changes everything for an entire civilization. One person's experiences then change it all. And I wonder, who is that one going to be for us? Can I be that one? I'm determined to be that one. Maybe you need to be determined to be that one too. And maybe we can start to realize that one isn't a singularity, but it's an everything. It's all of us working together as a team. And perhaps these movies and these series and shows where there's just one person against it all, and they find a way to encourage change across like the most impossible odds. This one person, maybe that's where we're going wrong here. Maybe we're all expecting one person, and that one person isn't me. I'm not special. Did you think Jesus came here knowing he was Jesus? Do you think Buddha knew Buddha was Buddha? They came here like us, completely confused, upside down, and wondering what the heck is this world actually all about, and who am I in this world? And through their own discoveries and their own desire to discover those discoveries, did they become who they actually were and are? And what about you, though? We're all reflections of this. We're all reflections of the one person that came here to change it all. So now when every single one of us is that one person, now these movies where it's just one person doing it, now it's everybody that worked as a team. Everybody did it together. Do you think the human race is ready for everybody to work together? Or are we still waiting for just one person? This is just an idea, something to think about, but in the end, this world is made up of lots and lots and lots of one persons. And what is it that you're doing? What is it that you're doing? Are you manifesting sad dreams? As we're all working with sadness, right? So how much of that sadness are we putting into everything that we do? And how many hours of it are we focusing, how we feel about ourselves and the people in our life and all of this? And that then now builds our blueprint of a reality that we continue to experience, and we wonder why it can't change. And I say, can I be that one? I just want to see. I say, okay, I'm going to be that one. I'm just going to be that one. I just want to see what that means to this whole thing. If I just choose to do it, let's say nobody wants to do it, and so I'll just do it. Is that fair? I think there's a lot more people wanting to do it, and there's people out there that are trying to do it. They deserve credit. I think we all deserve credit. And so why would all the credit go to just one person? When it needs to really go to everybody. Because in the end, it is all of us working together in the most unexpected ways. It's the fact that you went to the gas station to fill up today. And that was the butterfly effect that changed a bunch of things. We don't know all the ways that we interact with people in completely other parts of the world by basic choices. But we are all doing it together. And it does feel like somehow there is one superhero, but there's many superheroes. We got to find out what our gift is and promote that. Everything feels very warm and hopeful and exciting. And it feels like a new library. It feels like not to feel too daunted by all of this conversation, because it is heavy, because we do wonder about these things, because we wonder if we're going to make it, if this world is going to make it. But don't feel too daunted. Don't feel too overwhelmed by it or lost in it. And use this opportunity to say, okay, what is in my library? What is in my library? Who am I? What am I? Why am I? Ask these really interesting questions if you feel that's your calling, or don't, But everything is in a frequency wave right at our feet, apparently, and it's going in every direction. And it's your creative experience, you know? The more we create with love, the more we feel in tune with that, I feel strongly that the blueprint, the creative blueprint, can be more what we've always wanted it to be, right? And we have to choose that. We have to choose to say, I'm gonna be more loving to myself today. Oh, I just noticed I did something that was not self-loving. Why did I just do that? Why did I just say that to myself? Just like this. I'm going to actually go to that part of me that said that and give that part of me a hug and say, I don't need to say those things to myself anymore. And when I find myself caught up in a whirlpool of frustration about somebody, I'm going to say, whoa. I've been thinking about this for the last 10 minutes. I'm having a really hard time letting it go because I am so pissed off. But is that helping me? Is that helping the world? Is that helping my dreams? To just be stuck in this whirlpool that makes me feel awful and gross inside and helpless? Or can I just say, you know what? I'm going to be grateful and thankful for this experience exactly as it is. And I'm so glad I had this 10 minutes of venting, but I'm also so glad that I'm choosing to say, I don't need this time to go towards anger anymore. And I'm going to let it go. And just keep letting it go as often, as you notice it. And that's us creating a blueprint of a new kind. Us choosing with all that we are dreams of love. And dreams of love that go in infinite directions and new experiences for everybody. Okay. So there we go. There's our July 2nd total solar eclipse special day message. All right. Well, I want to thank you all for joining me on this journey. And if any of you are interested in working with me one-on-one for a psychic session, please visit me at my website at abbeynormalswisdomquest.com. I hope you all have a great day.